This video is to help you with Study Guide Part 1. We already did the vocabulary, so we're just looking to answer the questions. Question 1 is, who lived on Hispaniola before the arrival of the Europeans? What was the size of the population? So we know that it was the Taínos that lived on the island of Hispaniola before. And we know from down here that historians estimate that before the arrival of Europeans, the indigenous population, so the people that were originally living there on Hispaniola, numbered anywhere from 500,000 to 1,000,000 people. So that's what you're going to put for questions number 1. The Taínos were a population that lived there, and 500,000 to 1,000,000 people for the size of the population. This next section of the study guide talks all about Spanish, the Spanish settling on the eastern part of Hispaniola, which is now DR. So it talks about Columbus coming in and then coming back and seeing that his men had been killed after they had been hurting and stealing from the Taínos. And how they began a settlement there. They basically took over the island. They made all the Taínos start working for them as slaves. The biggest thing that happened for the Taínos during this time is almost the whole population ended up dying. And this is an important sentence right here. It says, within a few decades of exposure to European diseases and the harsh conditions of slavery, much of the island's native population had perished. So this happened all throughout South America too when the Europeans started coming over, because these people had never been exposed to the diseases that the Europeans had. So it just devastated their communities and killed most of the population. And then on top of that, it was the harsh conditions of slavery that were just killing off all of these natives, the indigenous population. So the gold mines were exhausted, so then they started to grow things on the island. So we're going to talk about that. This next part is explain the difference of Santo Domingo, Saint Dominique, and Hispaniola. Just know that France did not come in until the early 1600s. And the reason that they came in was because Spain said, okay, all the people living on Hispaniola, you need to come around and live right near our city because there's a lot of pirates, there's a lot of ships coming up, and we're the only ones that can sell. And we know that people are sneaking off down to the coast and meeting up with ships and selling things, and we want that money, not you. So we're going to force everybody to live right in this city and nowhere on the outskirts. So when they did that, that part of Hispaniola became empty, where the part that's now Haiti. Nobody was living there. So France said, hey, this looks like a good place to start a settlement. So they started what today is called Haiti. So for this period, it's called Saint Dominique. So that was France setting up a brand new settlement over there. And you're going to see that it grows really fast. And they bring in so many slaves to take care of the farming and all of that on the plantations.